For 365 days, it builds. The intensity, the passion, an emotional charge flowing through a state divided. It's a game that sparks visions of legendary names and images from its past.
The kick is in the air. It has lifted. It's good! Here's a good snap. It is blocked. It is blocked. It's caught on the run. Bam takes the snap. He's got Hudson. Kirkup. Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn!
The Tigers seek to repeat last year's magic.
The tide is rolling towards the playoff, but first they want revenge.
56-yarder. It's got, no, does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game.
Tonight, the latest chapter will unfold in the fiercest rivalry in college football. The one we've all been waiting for. Auburn, Alabama. The Iron Bowl.
You are looking live at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on an Iron Bowl Saturday night. For an entire year, this drama has been building. For Auburn, the memory of kick 6 is the sweetest ever. For Alabama, the pain still lingers. All games matter to the Tide faithful, but this game matters most of all. The Auburn Tigers take the field in Tuscaloosa. This is the latest edition of the Iron Bowl. You need say nothing more. Good evening, everybody. With Jesse Palmer, I'm Brent Musburger. We will hear from Maria Taylor down on the field shortly. Jesse, this is a very special rivalry, friend.
And Brent, I think it's the best rivalry in college football, not just because of the intensity, but because what's at stake. Each of the last 5 years, the winner of tonight's game has played for a national championship. Could be 6 in a row with Alabama #1. Now, tonight, Auburn kind of limps into this game. They've lost their last 2 conference games, but they would love nothing more than to ruin Alabama's season. Meanwhile, Alabama's been waiting 365 days for redemption. You talk to their fans, coaches, or players, they don't feel like Auburn won last year's Iron Bowl. Alabama feels like they lost it for a year. They've been reminded every day about the kick 6. For a year, they've been waiting for tonight. Well, the wait is finally over. This is the Iron Bowl.
And for the last hour and a half, Maria Taylor has been down on the field watching the players. Maria, you saw a lot down there.
That's right, Brett. Key injuries on both sidelines. Duke Williams will be returning for the Auburn Tigers for the first time in 2 games. That's their leading receiver. Now he's wearing a very big knee brace on his right knee. He has a sprained MCL. Offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley says he's more concerned about his conditioning in this game because it's his first week of practice leading up to this week. TJ Yeldon for Alabama struggled with ankle injuries and foot injuries, but during warm-ups he looked really explosive, guys. And Amari Cooper, the leading receiver for the Alabama Crimson Tide, he has a bruised knee, no structural damage, but Nick Saban makes no bones about it. He has concerns coming into this game for his offense because of all of these key injuries to his players, guys.
And Maria, a game and a build-up the scalpers love. The ball is on the tee for number 99, Adam Griffith. Sit back and enjoy, everybody. Out of bounds on his first kickoff. Jesse, an early mistake here by the Tide.
I don't know if he just mishit that or what, but it didn't look like anybody on the coverage unit was anticipating catching this. I'm looking outside. You got Cyrus Jones, number 5. He's not even looking for the football. A costly mistake early is going to give Auburn tremendous field position here on their first drive.
The ball is at the 44-yard line of Auburn. Rock Thomas, the freshman, opens as a running back. He motions out, and Marshall flares, and he drops. Was that a lateral? Alabama claims it was. Ragland jumps on the ball. The head linesman agrees.
It was really close, Brent. You go back and have to watch this play. It looks like Nick Marshall throws it from about his own 38, 39-yard line. From that angle there, it looks like it was going backwards. Rock Thomas drops the ball. Here's a great look at it here. He's kind of in between the 38 and 39. Yeah, and I'd say Rock Thomas made contact with that football around his own 38-yard line, implying that was a backwards pass. And Auburn returns the favor.
Yeldon, first carry for the Tide, and they pound away against the middle behind Ari Kwanjo, Ryan Kelly, and Leon Brown.
And Blake Sims waited his turn, 5th-year senior, first season as a starter, and he's been fantastic this year, making plays with his arm and his legs. The thing that's impressed me the most, he's avoided the mistakes. Only 4 interceptions on the season.
That's Amari Cooper motioning out. Come right back with Yeldon. Huge hole. Out of bounds at the Tiger 15-yard line.
It's a really good job by this offensive line. Watch number 77, their left guard, Kwanjo. He climbs into the second level and gets a block on linebacker Chris Frost, which helps clear an opening for TJ Yeldon.
Sims, first pass. It's Cooper to the 10. Offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin calling the plays for Nick Saban. Second and 5. Fowler is number 45. Keep an eye on him all night. Here it comes. Crosses the 10-yard line.
You know, Brent, this is an area Auburn defensively has been mostly very good at all season long. They've bent, but they haven't always broken. And 51% of the time, the opponent's gone inside their red zone. They've allowed touchdowns. That's really good. Key tonight against what can be an explosive Alabama offense. Allow field goals, not touchdowns.
Checking the defensive call on the Auburn sideline. 3rd down and 3. Freshman wide receiver Cam Sims is number 7 on the field. Power with Yeldon. Touchdown, Alabama. After that misstep on the kickoff, Griffith being a little injured last week, here's Gunnar Rayborn to attempt the extra point. So a change with the special teams. Back spasms had sidelined Griffith a week ago against Western Carolina. TJ Yeldon, who had a big game a year ago in Auburn, is back. Gus Malzahn gambled with a freshman running back, and it backfired. On the other side, a new kickoff man, J.K. Scott, from Denver, Colorado, from Mullen High School, outstanding punter, has been sent in for this kickoff. A knee by Corey Grant. Corey Grant has replaced Thomas as the running back. And Marshall, looking downfield, now drops it off to Grant, and he's thrown for a loss. And that was Geno Smith, the nickelback. Jesse, let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact.
Well, Auburn's the best running team in the SEC. They're going to try and get their running back, Cameron Artis-Payne, going. Trey DePriest is the quarterback and the leader of Alabama's defense, and I think Landon Collins is the best defensive back in all of college football. Alabama will have to be physical. They must stop the run tonight.
Artis-Payne on the draw play. First down, Jesse, on cue. You said that Artis-Payne is the player they wanted to get involved.
No doubt about it. They do a little bit of misdirection here. They kind of make it look like Nick Marshall's going to roll out to his right. You see number 11, Brandon Folsom, the backside guard. They pull the other way. They hand off to Artis-Payne in a big gap.
Here is Marshall. He burned Bama a year ago for a big run. Into the red zone.
More misdirection, fake handoff to Grant. Watch all these players from Alabama run this way when they see the motion come outside. It freezes them for just a second, and that created the crease for Nick Marshall.
Come right back with Payne. He stopped after about a yard and a half, and it'll be second down and goal.
And Alabama's defense, Brent, sees up-tempo offense a lot here in the SEC West against Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Remember, Alabama's own offense is now going no huddle 80 to 90% of the time. So they see it in practice. They're equipped to handle. They feel like they're conditioned to handle. You see another mass substitution for Alabama trying to match personnel with Auburn.
Up under center. Quick pitch back. But Bama read Artis-Payne coming at him.
And on that play, they tried to fool Alabama. They lined up in an unbalanced formation. Their left tackle, Sean Coleman, 72, actually lined up at tight end on the right side. Wasn't a great exchange from the center to Smith as they were trying to pitch that football out wide, but you see the extra big bodies, again, trying to outflank Alabama. Alabama, though, did a great job themselves, just being physical at the point of attack.
Third down, goal, and Marshall, more comfortable in the gun, drops back. Rolling to the left, firing back of end zone, Williams incomplete. Here comes the field goal team for Auburn, and Malzahn not happy.
Now that's a throw and a catch that I think a healthy Duke Williams makes. I talk about his catch radius being the best in college football I've seen all year. He's been able to make acrobatic catches when he was healthy. You just wonder how much that knee potentially affecting him, wearing that knee brace on the right knee.
20-yard field goal attempt for Daniel Carlson, redshirt freshman from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Auburn's on the board. But Duke Williams in the back of the end zone needed a taller ladder. It's 7-3. Interesting that we have two outstanding kickers from the state of Colorado in the Iron Bowl. High and short, and knocked out of bounds right about the 20-yard line, and that's where Blake Sims will put it in play. Tyron Jones is the running back this time for Sims. Fowler, good receiver, motions out. He's also a fine lead blocker as he throws right there for Cooper, and Amari Cooper with Whitehead finally getting him out of bounds, but not before Cooper picked up a first down. Now I think I saw a penalty flag fly.
It's going to be a late hit, I think, out of bounds on that play.
You know, Jesse, it seems to me that Gus Malzahn's team making too many errors here in the early going.
And it's such a big game, and I think you always worry about the anxiety level of your players, and if they're a little bit uptight, and after the very first offensive play for Auburn where they fumbled the lateral to Rock Thomas, and now on defense, kind of a not a very smart penalty. You know, you don't need to help Alabama out in any way when they're playing at home.
TJ Yeldon back on the field for Bama. It will be Fowler. And he battled for a couple of tough yards as another flag flies.
Well, I think Lane Kiffin, their offensive coordinator, watched the tape of Auburn struggling to stop Georgia from running the ball and Texas A&M running the ball in their last two conference games. It's been a run-heavy game plan early for the Crimson Tide.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 17, 15 yards to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's Chris Frost, and that's another Auburn mistake. Sims has thrown twice.
Now again, this defense in their last 5 conference games have given up at least 30 points in each of those. You do not need to help out an explosive Alabama offense with all these penalties. You just saw there, number 17 barely got fingers on that face mask, but it twisted a little bit, and because of that, he turned it. That's the correct call.
Sims, high leaping grab at the 18-yard line by O.J. Howard, a tight end.
O.J. Howard is a special athlete. At 6'6", 240 pounds, he runs like a wide receiver, and here he's just running a corner. I think Blake Sims did a great job holding the safety in the middle of the field with his eyes. That's an accurate throw and a great job going up and getting it by Alabama's tight end.
3 of 3. Here's his 4th throw, and he wants the end zone. Cooper got a touchdown, Bama.
Alabama right now hitting on all cylinders offensively, running it and throwing it. They went to a super tempo. Auburn wasn't ready for the snap. Jermaine Whitehead at safety number 35 was late getting over to help Jonathan Jones. If you were wondering whether Amari Cooper was 100% healthy after that quote-unquote bruised knee, well, now you know.
Vaughn again on the field. Freshman from Lafayette, Louisiana. And it is 14-3. 30 yards in penalties against Auburn. And one of the best receivers in all of college football. In fact, make him the favorite for the Biletnikoff this year. And make him a first-round draft choice come next spring. You'll see a lot of him come Sundays. 14-3, Bama with the lead. Now, Lane Kiffin calling the plays down on the field. But I've had a theory all year, and it's come to fruition. Nick Saban wants him close by. Saban is the architect of whatever they do. That came after they scored the touchdown. He wants muscle ball. He does not want them throwing the ball time after time after time. Saban was also with his special teams coaches. This man coaches 24/7.
And he coaches his coaches just like he coaches his players, doesn't he?
Indeed.
Very, very intense. He understands, obviously, the significance of this football game.
And let me add this, because I've talked to Lane Kiffin. He thinks he's a better coach having hung out with Saban. I want to say that about Lane. He appreciates what Saban has brought to his coaching. Marshall keeps it and steps his way to a first down.
We're seeing Nick Marshall have success running early, and that is key for the Auburn Tigers. Remember, historically, mobile quarterbacks have given Alabama problems. Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel, even Trevor Knight from Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl last year. Last year, Nick Marshall was huge in this game, running the ball at 99 rushing yards. He was really good extending plays in the passing game. His legs have to continue to be big for this offense.
2nd down and 8. Play action artist Payne. Going deep to Williams in the air with those great hands of his. And Auburn is suddenly at the 15. This man is healthy.
We talked about his catch radius. Nick Marshall knows if he just puts the football anywhere near number 1, he can go up with those long arms and bring it down. Eddie Jackson loses track of the football. The throw gets there before the safety can help. Phenomenal play by the JUCO transfer Duke Williams.
A 42-yard pass play. Marshall going for Duke. Duke in a foot race, incomplete.
They had him one-on-one with their nickel back in the slot, Geno Smith. That's a matchup Auburn would like to take. He's just kind of running that smash corner route. Again, we talked about the windows being a lot smaller down here. He got outside position, throw again, just barely outside the outstretched hands. Aggressive play call on first down here tight.
Grant is the running back. Looks back toward Uzomah. Incomplete. And that was Eddie Jackson along with Nick Perry.
TJ Yeldon has tremendous hands. 6'5", 265, and he's been a big weapon in the red zone. Had a big touchdown catch in this area of the field in this game last year. That time, Eddie Jackson just being more physical, getting his hand, knocking that ball away, now setting up the third down. And another big substitution for the Auburn Tigers offensively.
And Alabama immediately matches up. Artis Payne is back. Incomplete, and it's fourth down. Sammy Coates.
And that's a drop by Sammy Coates. That was a very good throw by Nick Marshall, putting it where only his receiver could make the play. He protects the throw, putting it outside. That's a catch Sammy Coates has to make. You see Gus Malzahn's reaction. Gambled for it on fourth down. They got it. 3 consecutive pass plays, 3 consecutive incompletions now forced the field goal.
Stovall will hold for Carlson. This is a 24-yard attempt. Alabama is scoring touchdowns. Auburn is kicking field goals. Nick Saban emphasized this week to his coaching staff, let's keep the youngsters as loose as possible. And at practice on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, he moved it up only 1 hour. They went through everything, but you could see that his players were loose. They were ready to go. There was absolutely no tightness demonstrated in practice. The coaches, I'm not so sure. That'll come out on the 25-yard line. Yeldon, Jones, now Henry. Kenyon Drake, of course, is out with that broken leg. That's a big loss. And he gets his first carry of the game with Ladarius Owens making the stop. And, you know, as you take a look at this Auburn defense, Jesse, I want to point out that Devontae Lambert is not here. That is a big injury for that Auburn front.
Well, and they've already been struggling. As you can see in their last 5 SEC games, they've had issues keeping opposing offenses out of their own end zone and from generating big yardage. Now, Devontae Lambert was probably their most consistent defensive lineman. As defensive coordinator Ellis Johnson has had to mix and match, move people around all season long. They've been bit by the injury bug.
Sims fires. He's still perfect, folks. That's Cooper again. And Blake Sims has completed his first 5 passes for 65 yards and 1 touchdown. Who does he think he is, Greg McElroy?
Well, yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's a good idea. He keeps going to Amari Cooper. He's the LeBron James of this offense for Lane Kiffin. They line him up all over, and he gets the looks. And you see now, with an early success, he's now the school record holder for career receptions at Alabama.
3rd down and 2. Pitch to Henry, and there is a penalty flag thrown on this play. Frost came up on the running back.
Remember, he had that huge Sugar Bowl game against Oklahoma last year, and I think the expectations for Henry were large this year, but you're right, Brent, struggling a little bit here in the last couple games.
Now, here is someone who can really flip field position. This is J.K. Scott. Quan Brea is back deep for Auburn. Outstanding return. Look at this punt. Folks, that shades a great guy right there. Oh, mercy.
Last year in this game, Brent, 3rd and long situations, Alabama blitzed Nick Marshall, and they had success. Wonder if they'll do it again here tonight.
Well, Georgia did not. They protected the edges, but they're coming. They've got Marshall in a foot race, and he still completes it this time to Coates for the first down. That is a great throw, Jesse. You know how tough it is for any quarterback moving to the left.
No doubt. And Ryan Anderson and Trey DePriest come untouched up the middle of the field. There's the athleticism I talked about with Nick Marshall and why that gives them a chance against Alabama.
Artis Payne explodes. 47-yard line and another Tiger first down. Last play of the first quarter. And again, it is led. Geno Smith, the nickelback, makes the stop on Artis Payne. Well, you know, there were some of these fellas we were wondering about how healthy they would be in this game for the Crimson Tiger. And the Tide answered with TJ Yeldon scoring and then Cooper's great catch in the end zone. As we welcome you back to the SEC on ESPN. 2nd down and 11. Corey Grant. The fake, Marshall fires, complete, and that's Williams. Williams will have to spark the comeback here. Now, they've missed him in the end zone a couple of times, but it looks like he's completely healthy after missing those games with that knee injury.
He's the comfort zone for Nick Marshall, Brent.
Well said. And they come back and run with Grant for the first down, and now they are stalking a 3rd touchdown, but the earlier 2 times they settled for field goals. Here's Grant trying to get behind Fultz. And he is out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
You've got to be able to play with great eye discipline when you're playing against Gus Malzahn. He has a lot of misdirection and eye candy. They pull linemen. They've got receivers going in motion. They're faking handoffs. And if your eyes aren't in the right place, the ball will get run by your face or it'll get thrown over your head. So far tonight, I think Alabama's done a good job keying in on where the football has been.
Marshall checks over the side. Malzahn and Brett Lashley. Running back wants to make sure he's on the same page. Artis Payne trying to get that right edge. A little bit short of the first down, but he's out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So again, Jesse, that was Eddie Jackson over there getting him out of bounds.
See, Gus Malzahn wants his guys to go fast. These plays now are picking up. Already 34 plays run for the Auburn Tigers. That's a lot. How is this going to affect Alabama down the road?
3 of 6 on 3rd down. Artis Payne thrown for a loss. That was jumped by Ryan Anderson. Another decision.
Still a 1-possession game, but eventually, Brian, I don't think you're going to beat the #1 ranked team on the road kicking field goals all day. Some of these need to turn into touchdowns.
24-yard attempt for Daniel Carlson. Three of them. But like Jesse says, at some point, the Tigers will need 6. Alabama leads Auburn 14-9. And Maria Taylor, what have you got on Alabama quarterback Blake Sims?
Well, Brent, Sims was actually limping off to the sideline after the last offensive series. He was grabbing his Achilles. He spoke with the athletic trainers for a while, but I've been told by the Alabama support staff that he is fine and good to go. He did run back and forth trying to warm up a little bit while his defense was on the field, but it'll be something we'll continue to watch as the game goes on.
Yeah, indeed. Perfect throwing the ball here tonight.
Well, Brent, if you go back and their last play was that option play, remember, to Derrick Henry here, and just take a look at Blake Sims, number 6. He kind of just slips a little bit. You see that? Kind of falls down backwards, and you wonder if maybe that's where he injured himself. Something we certainly have to keep an eye on. His versatility and his athleticism has been huge all year for Alabama.
Carlson kicks it away. Christian Jones is coming out. And short of the 25-yard line. And first down and 10 now for Bama. Sims in the pocket. Intercepted. Picked up by Whitehead. So who knows if that injury affected him, as Maria told you, that he was being tended to down below, and whether or not he could push off.
Blake Sims got greedy on this throw. He wanted Amari Cooper running the smash route, but he never watches number 35, the safety, right over here. He had Christian Jones wide open in the flat. He decided to try and push that football downfield. Jermaine Whitehead, who's had tremendous ball skills. He was suspended for 4 games throughout the season. Comes back and makes a big interception, giving Auburn the ball back deep in Alabama territory. And how about the job he does keeping his balance and getting more yards?
Kiffin looking for the quarterback to discuss what just happened. Corey Grant is the running back. Marshall. Touchdown, Auburn. Sammy Coates.
That time, Brent, they used Duke Williams as a decoy to hold the safety in the middle of the field. You see number 1 in the slot, runs the post. That puts Sammy Coates one-on-one outside. Eddie Jackson looked back at the quarterback. He lost sight of Sammy Coates. The ball got thrown over his head. We talked about the eye discipline you have to have. That was an example of what not to do against Auburn.
So it's 16-14, and this is the move. Nick Marshall, 7 of 13 for 121 yards, and this touchdown to Sammy Coates. Game on in the Iron Bowl. 231 total yards for Auburn and 90 for Nick Saban's Alabama. Carlson booms this one. Coming out on the 25-yard line. Blake Sims was perfect until that interception. Yeldon to the 31-yard line on first down.
TJ Yeldon is a guy they need to get going. He is the complete back, can run inside, can run outside. He's good on third down because he catches the ball and he can block, and he's a good short yardage runner. But when he's moving and he's working well, this offense is working well.
Need 4 for a first down. Feed number 4. He got a lot more than that to the 45, and finally he was brought down by Therese, an outstanding player.
They had a phenomenal lead block by the fullback, number 45, Jelson Fowler, climbing into the second level.
Now it's
getting a block on the
Alabama.
linebacker. Yeah, and Bama now trying to pick up the tempo a little bit too. Is
play action. Sims drops it off to Fowler with excellent hands, and the big fella makes his way down the field for a first down.
He's key to the game plan for Lane Kiffin, Brent. Big physical guy, 6'1", 250 pounds. He just mentioned great hands coming out of the backfield. He can also play tailback and carry the football. And I think for this offense right now in the big picture, they've had a punt, an interception, and a punt in their last 3 drives. They just got to be able to find their rhythm again. They got to be moving forward. They've had some miscues here recently. It's important now they regain some confidence.
Yeldon is back as Kiffin's running back. Motions out. Made sure that was a forward pass. First down, Bama. Number 45 is carrying the load right now. He's a senior from Mobile, Alabama. Went to Tiger High School.
Love the idea of getting the football into a playmaker's hands out in space. And you had great blocking on the perimeter. DeAndrew White had a phenomenal block at wide receiver to give TJ Yeldon the edge. We talked about how this guy had to get more involved in the game plan. Doesn't have to necessarily just be conventionally running the ball. Good creative ways, throwing it to him outside as well by Lane Kiffin.
First down and 10 for Bama. Just outside the Auburn 30-yard line. Amari Cooper is lined up in the backfield, and now they're going to send him out as a receiver. Sims dances. Sideline, and Jones. Christian Jones inside the 10-yard line, tiptoeing for the reception.
Auburn just lost track of Christian Jones on the sidelines. Let's see if here how he stays in bounds. Catches the football. Is that right toe touching the sideline? From this angle, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. It's blurry. No, I think he's in. Got that toe in. It's a great catch.
They're coming right away, and Yeldon is with Sims. Yeldon swings to the right. He's to the 5, and he's hit by Jonathan Jones.
You know, there was a false start that I think the refs missed on this play. I think O.J. Howard at tight end flinched. You saw a lot of Auburn defenders kind of pointing at him. They wanted a false start play, didn't get called. I think Alabama got away with one right there.
Second down and goal. Knocked away by Whitehead. He's the defensive back with the interception that set up the touchdown, and this is a great break on this forward pass.
He is making plays. Of course, he had the interception earlier in the game, and now he's lined up against the best receiver in the country in the slot, mano-a-mano, and he gets a tremendous break on the football. I think if he puts out 2 hands, he might have that interception. So now, Amari Cooper on a big 3rd down. This is big for Alabama. Lane Kiffin very good at lining him up in different spots. He's going to face off against Jonathan Mincy right here at the bottom of the screen.
Looks right for him. And a great tackle by Ford. Stops Amari Cooper from reaching the end zone.
Alabama wants to go for it, and I think they are. They're bringing their nose tackle, it looks like. Brandon Ivory onto the field. You see big number 99 in here. Or so that's 89. That's a tight end. I got excited. That's Brandon Green bringing in the beef. He was playing offensive line earlier this season. I like the gamble. I like this call by Nick Saban.
Jumbo. Yeldon, touchdown. Alabama regains the lead.
Tremendous answer by Alabama's offense. Talked about how they had to get back into a rhythm, had to kind of find themselves. Lane Kiffin's talking with his war horse right there, TJ Yeldon. Nice answer.
Gunnar Rayborn. He's replaced Adam Griffith after the opening kickoff of this game. Lane Kiffin dials up Yeldon's number.
And 1:23 remaining, Brent. That is an eternity of time for Auburn's offense with the tempo they play. But remember, they had to burn 2 timeouts earlier. Does that hurt them right now in this scenario?
Knee in the end zone by Bray. Marshall on a quarterback draw all the way. You know, you talked about Nick Marshall at the start of this game, Jesse. And I want to go back on that. You said he's the key player in all this, and he has been. He's thrown the ball better tonight than I've seen him throw in the last few weeks.
And he's looked very accurate when he's thrown it way downfield. They've had some big-time completions and explosive plays deep. But, you know, he's also done a really good job checking the football down when nothing's been there downfield.
Going deep again. Got a man. Touchdown. Sammy Coates, his second of the night.
It was man-to-man coverage outside, Brent, with Eddie Jackson, who Sammy Coates beat earlier on a touchdown. And you saw the blazing speed. He ran right by the cornerback. And Brent, you just talked about it. We talked about the accuracy Nick Marshall has had tonight throwing the ball downtown. It's as good as I've seen in his career at Auburn. And this place, you could hear a pin drop.
Not so around Toomer's corner.
That's right. Toilet paper being tossed.
Early.
Early for it. A little early.
Here's Carlson. Auburn regains the lead quickly. Coming into this game, it's hard to believe. Coates had only 2 touchdown receptions on the year. Here tonight, on the biggest stage of all in the SEC, 2 touchdowns against Alabama. He's a very happy Auburn receiver on the sideline as the Iron Bowl starts to heat up in Tuscaloosa. Carlson whacks it away, and it'll come out on the 25-yard line. Sims, middle, his second interception of the game. This one picked off by Ford. They've got 38 seconds. They've got the ball across midfield. They have only 1 timeout remaining.
And this was just a miss by Blake Sims. He had DeAndrew White running the in route over the middle of the field. And Blake Sims just skied it. You're going to see number 2 coming from the left side of your screen into the middle. There he is. The window was there, but the high throw, it's an easy catch for Jonathan Ford. You know, Blake Sims' accuracy has been a little bit up and down throughout the course of the season. We've seen it up and down. Started the game 5 for 5. He's struggled since.
Let's see if they go deep after the turnover. Wildcat with Bray. And they're going to throw off the reverse. Marshall wants to go deep end zone. Trickeration. Caught. And that was Coates. It'll be 1st and goal with 28 seconds. Gus Malzahn promised us some trickeration tonight, and here it is. They line up Marshall to the outside, and they make sure he gets it back.
And what a great play call in a sudden change situation. You get the interception. Oftentimes, offensive play callers want to take a shot. They did it unconventionally, and Sammy Coates and Nick Marshall cannot be stopped right now.
Artis Payne, the Auburn running back. Payne stopped by the middle of that defensive front. Reed throws him back, number 90.
Yeah, Jaron Reed just dominated the right guard Chad Slade off the line of scrimmage. Gus Malzahn has that timeout in his back pocket, so he's going to use it and discuss.
Here is that play call, Jesse, that you talked about.
Yeah, Quan Bray is the guy they like to use at times in the Wildcat formation. He's a receiver. Hands it off to Corey Grant, who oftentimes runs jet sweeps, but instead he pitches it back to Nick Marshall. And Landon Collins at safety could not locate, identify the football. He's never able to get off the ground. Sammy Coates made a great stab.
Tyler Stovall is the holder. Forrest Hill is the long snapper. Perfect. 26-21. Auburn trailing early, rallies twice, and they lead Alabama by 5 here in the Iron Bowl. Let's go down to Maria with Coach Saban.
Coach, we saw 2 explosive passing plays from Auburn to close out the half. What did you see from your defense in the final 2 minutes?
Well, defense hasn't played very well. I mean, we've given up, 4 or 5 really big plays, getting the ball thrown over our head, not playing very smart, not keeping people cut off. And, we don't have a chance to win if we don't play better in the second half.
We also saw 2 interceptions from Sims in the first. What do you attribute those mistakes to?
Well, you know, I can't tell you what I contribute them to. Obviously, you know, nobody wants to throw an interception. Blake's a great competitor. He's doing the best he can. He overthrew the one, and, you know, the guy wasn't even covered. The guy intercepted the other one. So he just got to do a better job.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
26-21. Auburn explodes for 20 of the 26 in the second quarter. Gus Malzahn's offense rolling. Sammy Coates is the leader. 4 catches, 153 yards, and 2 touchdowns. With Gus Malzahn picking his spots, and his quarterback Nick Marshall having thrown for 255 yards and 2 touchdowns to wide receiver Sammy Coates. Meanwhile, Nick Saban is concerned with his defense. They've given up 383 yards. And Blake Sims, his quarterback, needs to settle down here in the second half. A couple of interceptions. But, Jesse, as you pointed out, Alabama gets the ball here to start second half.
And it's important they set the tone. Now, Nick Saban told our Maria Taylor right at the end of the half, they're not playing very well. They need to bring their A game here in the second half. And it's not just on defense. It's in all 3 phases. Remember, they kick the opening kick out of bounds. Blake Sims throws 2 picks. They've given up multiple explosive plays defensively. It starts right now on this drive, led by Blake Sims. You have to match the intensity level and the confidence with which Auburn is playing with right now. It has been unbelievable. You've got to give Auburn a lot of credit.
So in the first half, Auburn rushing for 128 and Alabama only 49. But the disparity is in total yards. And Auburn leading the way in time of possession. The 2 turnovers resulted in 10 points, by the way. Auburn drives ended at the 3, the 7, the 7, and the 3. That led to 4 field goals. And for the Crimson Tide, they are fortunate to have stopped those 4 drives and forced the Tigers to settle for field goals. Carlson will kick it away. Fielded at the 2 by Christian Jones. Alley on the right side. Out to the 38. And Maria, you spoke with Gus Malzahn. What do you have to say?
Well, Brent, you guys mentioned those explosive plays, and Coach Malzahn said that he decided to go with more aggressive play calling because he was sick and tired of kicking field goals. He also said he wanted to reward the defense for getting those interceptions. He wanted to find a way to get the ball into the end zone, and he wants to continue to put the pressure on Alabama's defense here in the second half.
Christian Jones with a 37-yard kickoff return, so it'll be first down at the 37 for Sims and the Tide. Yeldon starts the second half. Picks up a couple of tough yards, and that was Gabe Wright along with McKenzie.
And Gabe Wright's a key player for Auburn, Brent. You talked earlier about how Devontae Lambert, their most productive defensive end, was going to be out in this game. Gabe Wright is a big guy, 285 pounds, but he's playing double duty. He's playing defensive tackle, and he's playing defensive end, and he's a guy on tape that flashes, at times looks unblockable, hasn't always been the most consistent, most productive player. He's got to have a big second half here.
Ryan Kelly, the center. He's the ringleader of the offensive line. Picked off again, his 3rd interception. Jonathan Jones, and Jonathan saw that one coming from a mile away, and now Saban and the Bama staff, they've got a decision to make.
Well, Blake Sims wanted to go to Amari Cooper in the slot on a quick slant, but Joshua Hosley right here, he's going to take the throw away, and it forces Sims to kind of double clutch, and when he does that, he's too late throwing it outside to Christian Jones. We talked about how Jonathan Jones has emerged as the best cover guy for the Auburn Tigers. He shows you the instincts, and that's his 6th interception on the season. Now, last time Gus Malzahn was in this situation, getting an interception in Alabama's territory, he took a shot. He was aggressive. Let's see if he does it here again.
Coming into this game, Sims had only 4 interceptions. Tonight he has 3. Artis Payne. Marshall juggling the snap, keeps it, and makes his way to the 35-yard line. And Geno Smith is there along with Robinson.
I really think it's important. You just mentioned A'Shawn Robinson. It's important the interior of the defensive line of Alabama plays lights out now in the second half. You go back and think about the defense that had success against Auburn, Florida State in the national title game, Kansas State earlier.
Jake Coker
warming up. Yeah. Wow. Just wonder about the health of Blake Sims, or if they've just decided to make a change after he threw his third pick.
2nd down and 6. Bray on the end around, sweeps for the first down to the 20-yard line.
Auburn had success in last year's Iron Bowl early running the football outside. You're going to see Quan Bray get the block. Look at number 11, Brandon Fultz, get a block on Reggie Ragland, clearing the way. Auburn tonight has had success up the middle. They've had success outside. A lot of balance on offense, and they've got Alabama on their heels.
Now it's the draw play. Artis Payne, and he's to the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're going to that quick huddle here again, Brent. They're going to try to break the huddle fast and get a fast snap and see if they can outflank Alabama.
Grant in motion. Marshall rolls right, complete, but well short of the first down. Ricardo Lewis was hit by Landon Collins. Number 26 read that beautifully.
And they did it again. They lined up with their left tackle, Sean Coleman, as a tight end in an unbalanced formation, but Alabama was lined up properly, and Landon Collins read the play. So Alabama was great in red zone defense early. They were forcing field goals after giving up an interception on their first drive in the second half. How big is this for Alabama now to play lights out on this third down, try and force another?
Touchdown, Auburn. Quan Bray. Three touchdown passes in this game for quarterback Nick Marshall.
Wow. And just what can you say about Auburn in all facets?
Carlson is on the field. 17 Auburn points off the 3 interceptions by Blake Sims. Jake Coker, the transfer from Florida State. Will we see? Because right now, the man with the hot hand is number 14 from Pineview, Georgia, Nick Marshall, on fire in the Iron Bowl. And meanwhile, a different kickoff man, Kavickas, is going to kick this one off. And Christian Jones at the 25. So Alabama will stick with Sims right now. Yeldon's the running back. Yeldon bolts to the 41-yard line. Threezy with a stop after a 17-yard gain.
You need to help out Blake Sims' confidence. You've got to get him into a rhythm. So run the football. And I think that's been the area Alabama's been so dangerous at this year. It's the balance and the unpredictability, their ability to both throw and run. And I think getting TJ Yeldon this running game going only is going to help Blake Sims.
First down and 10, and here comes Yeldon out to the 45, and Jonathan Ford. Now, following the last interception by Sims, and he's thrown 3, Nick Saban is over with Kiffin, telling him probably let's saddle up number 4 on this next drive. Meantime, Coker loosened up. Now Sims, and he hits Cooper at midfield, and Mincy making the stop. He's right at that first down mark.
And Brent, it's strange to see Blake Sims struggle tonight because he's playing at home. And for whatever reason this year, he's played his best football here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. He's completed 67% of his throws, 14 TDs, only 2 picks, but tonight, seeing the field as well, he's been aggressive. He's tried to force some throws. One got picked early by Whitehead. He missed DeAndrew White over the middle of the field and had a late throw in his last interception. This is not the stadium you expect Blake Sims to struggle in.
Play action. Sims has time, goes, Cooper's wide open, touchdown, Alabama.
The gamble pays off for Nick Saban and Alabama. You leave Blake Sims in the game, you convert on a 4th and 3, you show confidence in your quarterback, and he responds and rewards you for that confidence. Tremendous job by Blake Sims.
Gunnar Rayborn. Missed it.
It was blocked.
That was Blackson who blocked it. Big number 98. Let's start off by looking at this 39-yard touchdown as Cooper breaks wide open, Jess.
Yeah, you know, he was never redirected outside by Jonathan Mincy. He got one-on-one with the safety, Jonathan Ford, and on a double move, spun him right around.
We come back. We'll take another look at that blocked extra point. Auburn up 6. As far as college football is concerned, this is Titletown. Now let's go back to this blocked extra point, Jess.
Yeah, Angelo Blackson, number 98, as you mentioned, just gets great push up the middle. And how about the vert for the big man? Just gets that right paw on the football. Keeps it from going through the uprights. And as a result, still 6-point game.
J.K. Scott kicks it away. Ford comes out. Down the sideline. Now it's 1st down and 10. This makes it a lot easier for the Bama secondary if Duke is not out there with Sammy Coates. Bray sweeps around.
Brent, it's a great point. This offense is complete when Duke Williams is on the field. When they can run the ball with their quarterbacks and running backs, Duke Williams is in the slot, Sammy Coates is outside. You've got your hands full. But when Duke Williams is on the field, you can't double cover Sammy Coates. But now all of a sudden, with him out of the game, they become much easier to defend. And how is Alabama now going to make their adjustments? I think if you're Sammy Coates, number 18, you're going to start seeing more double teams. Auburn needs number 1 back on the field.
Marshall goes deep, one-on-one coverage battle. Quan Bray is on the outside, battling for the ball, and it's a catch, the headlinesman said. The catch against Sylvie, working that far side, and what a catch this is by Quan Bray. We'll check it out. It's 35 yards.
Take a look at this again, one-on-one, Quan Bray with Brandon Sylvie. He jumps up over top. You know, he gets both feet down. I don't know if he had possession at the time he did. Auburn goes fast, though. They're not going to get a chance to replay it.
Artis Payne to the edge, and he is out of bounds on that far side.
And nonetheless, it's impressive. Remember, Duke Williams not on the field for Auburn and making it, you know, apparently more defendable. You know, what I loved about that last pass play, Brent, Sammy Coates was double covered, and Nick Marshall knew to go away and find the single coverage. That's where Quan Bray was. Nick Marshall is so dialed in right now. He is winning the quarterback duel with Blake Sims.
They jumped that draw play, and that'll be 3rd down for Auburn and DePriest and Tomlinson.
Yeah, we talked about having to be good in the interior of the defensive line. Well, DePriest blitzed from the outside, but Tomlinson won on the interior. Now 3rd and medium, and Duke Williams back on the field for Auburn. Going to gut it out. This is, again, Nick Marshall's go-to guy in these scenarios all season long. You can't say enough about his toughness.
End zone wide open, and Duke couldn't hang on. It was a little bit to his left. In fairness to Duke, this was not a perfectly thrown ball, but he was wide open, and Gus Malzahn knows it.
And it was a coverage bust because Geno Smith, who was covering a number 24, he falls and slips. Did you see that? It left Duke Williams wide open, and I've said it again, Brent, he never drops passes like this.
He's got to have
catch rate, he sure does, and I know he's not 100%. I think he would tell you himself. That's the second drop touchdown pass on the game now for Auburn, and Nick Marshall can't believe it.
So Carlson is back. He's kicked 4 field goals. This would be his 5th. "33-yarder is good." So the young man from Colorado Springs, Colorado, Daniel Carlson, a redshirt freshman, has kicked 5 field goals in this Iron Bowl. Now, watch the emotions over there on the Auburn sideline.
It's the Iron Bowl, man. Stuff happens.
He'll come out on the 25-yard line. Sims gonna go deep, wants Cooper. Cooper's got it. Touchdown, Alabama.
This is an incredible ball game. 2 heavyweight fighters trading blows.
Amari Cooper in an Iron Bowl. 9 catches now for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. That one, 78 yards. And Bama pulls back to within 2. Now the quarterback Sims, who has come back after his 3rd interception. Let's see how he feels about this one. J.K. Scott to kick it away. At the 1, Corey Grant. And number 20 is thrown down just shy of the 20.
There's nobody better in the country than Lane Kiffin at using formations to get his playmakers isolated. Here's Amari Cooper now in the slot. He's going to press up the field to the corner and then go deep. And it put him one-on-one with Jonathan Mincy trailing, and he could never catch up to make the play. It's a great double move. He's got way too much speed. Gets in behind the defense, and Blake Sims, that had thrown 3 picks earlier, his last 2 possessions now.
Pockets clean. Duke Williams with a great grab.
Anywhere near him, and he normally comes down with it. We saw him just drop a touchdown pass. I think this was probably a more difficult catch. It's unbelievable.
Davis in motion. Artis Payne. Out of bounds at the 37. Dixon.
Let's go back and watch Duke Williams again on this catch. He's matched up with Geno Smith in the slot. This is the matchup Nick Marshall wants. He's just going to come over the middle of the field. It's a great route. Look at that, stabbing the football. This guy has a very long, very successful future playing on Sundays because you cannot teach that.
They're showing gap pressure. Then they back off rush 4. Marshall, though, in a foot race. on the move. Right side, up for grabs, intercepted at the 45 by Perry, Nick Perry. And Alabama will have a first down in Auburn territory.
And Nick Marshall committed the cardinal sin of quarterbacking, throwing the football back across his body into traffic. Pressure up front forced him to move outside. He's looking for number 4. You see Quan Bray. He's going to break this route in. It looks like he's open. But watch all the crimson jerseys converge, and it's Nick Perry at safety. You cannot throw back across your body into traffic. Alabama has the ball back deep in Auburn territory, down by 2.
Fowler and Yeldon are your backs along with Sims. Banging right straight ahead against the middle. Adams, Montravius Adams. And of course, last week, I should say, Amari Cooper was shaken up. And look at what he has accomplished here tonight.
Brent, he's LeBron. He gets all the shots. And Lane Kiffin lines them up in different spots to make sure he gets isolated.
2nd down and 8. LeBron's got another one. I mean, Amari. And he's out of bounds.
Hey, he's playing to the left. He's playing to the right. He's in the slot again. Lane Kiffin has explosive playmakers at his disposal. He's putting on a clinic right now. Whatever he's got on that call sheet, it's working pretty good when they're dialing up number 9.
Sims has been outstanding following that 3rd interception. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Again, it's Cooper on the move to the 8-yard line. Whitehead hanging on.
And that was a confident throw by Blake Sims, because this looked triple covered from the get-go. There were 3 white jerseys around Amari Cooper before he broke, but that's the confidence level Blake Sims has, and what we think will be the Blitnikoff Award winner this year.
So it'll be 1st and goal, but the ball is backed up to the 13 for Nick Saban's Tide. As we come to the end of the 3rd quarter, they will switch ends. A total of 70 points. What else would you expect? This is the Iron Bowl. At Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's a game we've waited a year for, and it has more than lived up to expectations. We start the money quarter. Alabama on a drive with a 1st and goal. Sims will step it out of bounds at about the 11-yard line.
He can do more of that, Brent. I love the idea by Sims. The fact that he's decisive when nothing's open downfield, you take off now. They don't like to run him a lot on zone read type plays, but in a game like this, close as it is, you need all of your weapons firing, and Amari Cooper and TJ Yeldon are going. Again, I just think Blake Sims, he's been really good throwing it recently. Legs come up big down here in the red zone. Got Amari Cooper right here in the slot.
Sims looking back at number 9, and now he's going to take off. Slips into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. Our 4th lead change of this game.
The red zone is a great place to run if you're a quarterback. Oftentimes defenders have their eyes focused on receivers. Auburn just brings 4. They're not able to contain him. This is what I'm talking about.
He's going to go for 2 right now. TJ Yeldon. Cooper goes in motion. And it's caught for the 2-point conversion. That was DeAndrew White who made that catch. And Bama's lead is 6.
Blake Sims is now in the zone because he put that football where only his wide receiver could make the catch. It's an in-breaking route, small window. You got to put it low to the ground. You see that the front tip of the football is pointing down. Looks like he got it in the body.
Alabama, 3 touchdowns on their last 3 possessions. It came after Blake Sims had thrown his 3rd interception. Now, number 6 on fire. J.K. Scott, kick it away. Fielded at the 4. That's Grant. Grant slips up at the 26. First down and 10. Artis Payne. Marshall looking downfield. Incomplete. And that was great coverage that time by Sylvie. Nick Marshall and the Tigers need something good to happen here. Bray on that end around. Artis Payne with a great block over there on Landon Collins. Man, what a block that was. Landon was upended.
But again, good run defense happens all over the field. It's not just up in the front 7. It's people in the secondary willing to come down and make a stop. So here we go again. 3rd and long situation. You saw Nick Marshall in trouble, threw an interception ill-advised on the last big 3rd down. Alabama showed pressure and backed off. The cat and mouse game continues.
On 3rd down, Marshall not going to get close. Taken down at the 22-yard line. 2 things have happened in this game.
We talked about the versatility. They have pass rushers now, and they've got a lot of them. 47, Xavier Dixon off the outside. You got Reggie Ragland at linebacker coming in the backfield. Jonathan Allen, number 93. They are deep. This is a different-looking front 7 than Nick Saban has ever had at Alabama.
Christian Jones is back deep for Carlson's punt. From the 23, and he, I should say about the 26, actually gave up a little bit of ground there as he was out of bounds. Brandon King with good coverage for the Auburn Tigers. Alabama with a 6-point lead. Here's Cooper again, adding to his record-breaking total here tonight.
You've got the lead. If you're going to ice this game, your best players have to touch the football. So I would expect a constant dose of number 9, Cooper, and number 4, TJ Yeldon, if I were Auburn defensively.
Now you can see that Robinson is still missing in action, and here is Yeldon midfield, and he runs to the 39-yard line.
Get a great job. They get a pull from their left guard, Quanjo. Look at 77 right here. Get outside. He's going to try and help him get the edge. TJ Yeldon just beat him to it. You know, Brent, we talked about the balance they have on offense. That's a reason why they're on pace to set a school record for total offense in a season. They're averaging 485 yards a game. It's because they can do everything well.
Yeldon again. Caught the left edge. And that is going to be marked, looks like back there at about the 16-yard line, and that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Lane Kiffin, if a play works once, he's going to dial it up again. He pulled Quanjo, his guard, again to get a block on Frost. Let's see if he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, right there. It's the left foot right there. Good call. But right now, Lane Kiffin, whatever he's dialing up, running and throwing, it's working. And this guy right here, 77, Quanjo, he's been the bell cow on this drive.
And they give it to Fowler. And he crushes the middle of that defense to the 7. Ford, the safety, suddenly makes the stop. If you're an NFL scout, I've said this before, circle number 45 Fowler. If he's there in the 3rd round, grab him. He can play Sunday football. He could be a lead blocker. He's a good runner. He's got great hands. He's been well coached. You guys take it from there.
I don't know if I would stop giving it to him right here in this area of the field. He's tailor-made for it. This is a situation, Brent, as Joe Namath looks on. This could, if Alabama scores a touchdown after just retaking the lead, all the explosive plays they've had in the second half, this could be demoralizing for Auburn.
Yeldon picks his daylight to the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Clock ticking. Talk about Alabama now being an up-tempo, no-huddle offense. They're very content to get in a huddle, bleed this clock.
You know, that was a very, very big 2-point conversion for Alabama, because if they kick a field goal right now, they turn this 6 into a 9 and a 2-possession game. That was huge on Saban's part. And now just milk this clock, take time before it's snapped, try to get it down, try to limit the possessions that the man across the field can have.
Roll out.
Touchdown White. DeAndrew White, the senior from Houston, Texas, on senior day, scores a touchdown, and the Tide rolling.
That's the score Alabama needed. And I'm very curious to see how Auburn is now going to respond to this. Let's take a look at the back of the end zone. It's a great job on a scramble drill by DeAndrew White, working for his quarterback to get open. And what can you say about Blake Sims in the second half?
Going for 2 again. Still 8 minutes to go for Auburn. Rolling to the right in a foot race. Sims is down. It'll stay on the 12 at the 8-minute mark, and Sims was shaken up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And it appears that he has injured himself a little bit on that run when he went down.
Yeah. And it looked like he had the edge. I think if he was able to stay on his feet, he might have been able to convert that 2-point conversion. That's good news for Alabama. Sims showing some toughness getting up.
Blake Sims has had some kind of night. 20 of 27 for 312 yards. 4 touchdowns. Alabama leads Auburn 48-36. 4th quarter of the Iron Bowl as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. Scott picks it away. High but short. Bray comes up on it. Now to the 31-yard line. Artis Payne. Play action Marshall. Going to come deep downfield. And Coates has got it at the 15-yard line. He had 2 first-half touchdowns. Geno Smith, and they're not out of bullets yet.
Alabama has struggled at cornerback, whether it was Eddie Jackson, Bradley Sylvie, sorry. Now Geno Smith giving up a deep one again. I was just going to say before that snap, when is Auburn going to take another shot deep down the field as good as Marshall's been pitching it?
Flares it to the outside, and Davis. And wrestled down by Collins.
Brent, I really thought coming into tonight, Alabama's total defense was the best in the country because they had marked improvement at cornerback in the second half of the season. Cyrus Jones developed into their best cover corner. Eddie Jackson was back from an ACL injury. They had mostly been shutting people down. Tonight, they've given up 6 pass plays of 30 or more yards. They'd only given up 8 all season long.
2nd and 9. Marshall. Coates juggles. Knocked away and out of bounds. Sylvie, who came in and replaced Jones over there.
Yeah, Sylvie's come in, and he took over for Eddie Jackson after he got burned by Coates in the first half. You'll see here it's the fade throw. He gets it tipped, and it looks right there like Sammy Coates had caught it. Just a hot potato. Nobody wanted the football. It's a great job by Sylvie battling.
Watch Washington. Watch 23 come into your picture now. He went up and got a hand on that football. Here it is, 3rd down and 9 for Marshall. Fires that fade. Williams is being held up over there, but they say it's not catchable. The official on that far side says there's no penalty here because it was not catchable.
And Brent, they haven't tried Cyrus Jones, number 5. Watch how physical he is with Duke Williams up top. Now there's definitely contact when the ball's in the air, but this is a guy I told you, he's emerged. Russ Malzahn wants the pass interference call. Here we go, 4th down. Duke Williams right there.
Fires in underneath. Alabama football. Nick Perry, the defender.
On that last play, Brent, Nick Marshall wanted to hit Sammy Coates on a post over the middle of the field. Take a look at this play again as you see Marcus Davis. He stretches the football out. I think he's already out of bounds. I think it was a good spot by the referees and a great job by Kirby Smart and Alabama's defense.
Blake Sims, after throwing his 3rd interception of this game, has been magnificent. Yeldon brought down by Ford. Yeldon with a 126-yard night. And we remind you that our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, whether you're going for it from a few yards out or from miles away, go with a tire with superior performance. Goodyear, more driven.
And Brent, Alabama's a little undermanned right now on the offensive line. Their starting left tackle, Cam Robinson, left the game. They moved Austin Shepard, number 79, from right tackle to left tackle. And now their backup, Grant Hill, number 64, is in, playing on the right side.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 behind that offensive line. Yeldon. And here comes a huge 3rd down. Ford again, who's been very active in that secondary. Jonathan Ford's a sophomore from Big Cove, Alabama.
How big would it be for Alabama here to convert this? They've retaken the lead. They've scored touchdowns on their last 4 drives, Brent. They're milking the clock.
How big would this be for Auburn to stop them?
No doubt about it.
Trying to stay alive here.
And this is a big front from Auburn defensively. They've been very poor in rushing the passer this season, but they've got big bodies. They've got a bow up right here in what appears to be a running situation.
Sims is going to keep it for the 1st down and then some. Trying to slide awkwardly, went down at about the 27-yard line, and he's been nicked up a little bit here tonight.
It's something Alabama doesn't do often, Brent. They don't run Blake Sims on designed quarterback runs, which would seem odd considering how good of an athlete he is. But they just feel like throughout the course of the season they can run it conventionally. They've got good running backs. They don't want to get him hurt. That was a really good play call by Lane Kiffin on 3rd down, emptying the backfield, setting up the draw. Henry
will be Sims' running back. The hand to Henry, and Henry breaks free. 40, 45, crosses midfield, still going to the 25-yard line with Mincy making the stop on Henry.
It was a great job of vision on a zone stretch play, cutting the football back across the field. Watch this line push off. There's a lane back going the other way. He sees it. He puts his foot in the ground, gets in the open field. And guys, this is a 6'3", 241-pound back that has tremendous speed in the open field. And that completely flips the field, putting Alabama on the doorstep again.
49 yards. 516 yards for Bama, 565 for Auburn. Bama with a 2-touchdown lead, and Henry is stood up by President. The chief of staff said, "Nowhere, young man." The President brought him down.
Well, you're down 12 points, Brent. So when do you start using your timeouts if you're Auburn? You've got 3 to use, and Alabama's showing you that they're not going to go fast. They're going to milk this thing as long as they can. It's already a 2-possession game right now. I think if you're Gus Malzahn, you got to start thinking about burning these. Blake Sims, hands on his hips. He's going to let this play clock go all the way down to 1.
Here's Henry, swinging wide, breaks free, end zone. That could be the dagger.
Unstoppable on their last 5 drives. 5 touchdowns. Remember, the score was 33-21 Auburn early in the 3rd quarter following a Sims interception. Alabama responded with 5 straight touchdown drives. Wow.
Vaughn knocks down the extra point. Alabama already headed to Atlanta for the SEC championship game against Missouri next week, but they're stocking bigger game. This team wants nothing short.
Pulling guys outside, getting Jalston Fowler on the perimeter, and allowing Derrick Henry to follow it. Talked about Shepard got put in a new position at left tackle when Ken Robinson went down. Jalston Fowler's had a monster game, Brent. Catching the football, running the football, and blocking. But the sense of urgency has got to go through the roof now if they're the Auburn Tigers. You're leaving it all out on the line.
J.K. Scott kicks it away. Grant to the 35-yard line. Let's go down below now to Maria Taylor. Maria.
Brent, you know, I'm down here with a little piece of history. The kick 6 ball that Auburn won with last season in the Iron Bowl actually made the trip to Tuscaloosa. Now, there was a time when they weren't sure exactly where this ball was, but a student manager had picked it up and returned it back to the equipment manager on Monday. Athletics director Jay Jacobs did call and see if Alabama wanted the ball back. They said that Auburn could hold on to it. They're going to have a place to display it, and of course, Alabama right now trying to erase the memory of this ball, and it seems like they're doing a pretty good job of that so far, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Maria. By the way, there's a security guard keeping a close eye on you down there. Flipping it outside to Davis. Davis gets to the 45-yard line before DePriest.
How about Trey DePriest? The guy that starting his 37th game, played a lot of football. He's the quarterback of this defense. He's physical. He gets the guys lined up. They lost C.J. Mosley last year. He was their leader. Trey DePriest has done an unbelievable job this season.
2nd and 5. And complete for a first down to the 34. And that was Duke Williams who made that grab. And Landon Collins right there on the big fella. First down and 10. Now Marshall. He'll just take it out of bounds, stop the clock right about the 30-yard line. The clock is down to 1:25.
It's been an unbelievable game, hasn't it?
Amazing.
Just incredible. We talked about the highest scoring game in Iron Bowl history, but a game with ebbs and flows and anxiety early. Both teams kind of settling down. We've seen both quarterbacks play at an extremely high level. It's been a real treat. Real fun to be part of.
This will kill it momentarily with this first down. Grant to the 14-yard line. 48 seconds. And finally, Alabama fans will not be watching kick 6 every week of the year. Firing to Duke Williams, who is jarred. Got a first down, so it'll be first down and goal.
What can you say about Duke Williams? But again, this offense so different with Duke Williams, his comfort zone back on the field. It showed in Nick Marshall's play. You know, he ran the football very well tonight as well. He scrambled. We've talked about how mobile quarterbacks have given Alabama issues over the years. Of course, Nick Marshall got the win last year. He gave Alabama all they could handle tonight. He's had a tremendous career at Auburn. You've seen the red zone efficiency for Auburn. It's been night and day different than that of Alabama's.
Corey Grant dives for the end zone and an Auburn touchdown.
And just a great sign. I think if you're Auburn, continuing to fight all the way through. Corey Grant, who once played for the Crimson Tide, this game we knew was very meaningful for him. Great move here late on Geno Smith, diving the football across the plane. Tell you what, I got to be honest. I did not come into this game with you tonight, Brent, expecting to see that many points. If you told me there were 97, potentially 98 points going to be scored in this, I would have told you you were nuts.
The Iron Bowl records that were broken tonight, and there were a ton of offensive marks that have broken here. The most combined points we've talked to, but how about the most combined total yards? And there you have Alabama putting up 55, tying the most points they've ever scored. And what can you say about Amari Cooper? My partner Jesse Palmer has raved about him all season long.
Send him to New York City.
Going for two, and running out with the play was Ricardo Lewis to talk to Duke, and they're going to stack it over here. Marshall on the move, going to run for it, going to pick it up that way.
I meant 99 points. It is not often a Nick Saban defense gives up 44. Cannot say enough about Gus Malzahn's game plan, Duke Williams' toughness, the way Nick Marshall has played. They put on a clinic. Unfortunately, Alabama's offense was just better.
Here's Nick Saban. Won the 4 national championships during the BCS era. 1 at LSU. 3 here. And again, in recent history, if it means anything, Alabama is favored to go all the way to the championship game. They'll stay number 1. Oregon will stay 2. Florida State 3. And then the committee must decide who sits at number 4. TCU has a very good shot. Baylor has the argument that they beat him head up. We shall see. There's the onside kick. Scramble for it, and there's penalty flags flying. Fowler, number 45, who's done a little bit of everything.
I think that got touched by Auburn before it traveled 10 yards. I think that's why you see the flags on the field. You're not allowed to block anybody downfield before this travels 10. Take a look at these 2 players in front of the kicker. And I actually thought the football even touched one of them at that point. It's a good call.
For an entire year, Alabama and its fans have suffered because of a kick 6. In 18 seconds, that memory has been erased. Alabama wins the highest scoring Iron Bowl in history. Alabama now heads to the SEC championship game, where they will take on Missouri next Saturday afternoon. Blake Sims up saluting the Alabama fans. Let's send you to SportsCenter.